Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast. This is episode 393. Make sure you click to subscribe right now so you'll never miss a journey. I post one episode each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Joining us today is Peter Guirguis. Peter is a dynamic digital expert on SwiftPress Support. His commitment to excellence is ensuring his clients achieve their business goals. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Patience. It's nice to be here with you today.
Thank you for coming on the show. My audience are excited to hear your story. Just start by telling us one thing we are going to learn from you today.
Oh, sure. I know that your audience is very much they're business owners and entrepreneurs. And really my expertise is in helping, website owners and entrepreneurs and business owners how to leverage their website in order to achieve their business goals and get new clients, get new customers. So hopefully I will be able to help them in this area with their web presence and how to maximize it and to grow it even further and make it even better.
Wow. I can't wait to hear more about that. Let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own business?
Yes, absolutely. Before I started my own business, I was an IT manager, and I still do IT management today. But before then, I met my wife in 2010. And, I remember when I first was about to propose to her, I was very nervous and I was just hoping that she would say yes. So I remember us walking, around this beautiful lake and I got on one knee and I, proposed to my wife and thankfully she said yes. And then, after that we were talking, I said, honey, I want to ask you, what is your dream for our life together? And she thought about it for a moment and she said, my dream is for me to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. I know that many moms, they want to go to work and have a job or have a business. But for me, I want to stay at home and be with my kids and take care of my kids. So I said, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that you don't have to work and so that you can, have your dream. So 1 year later, my wife got pregnant and we had our first baby, Bella. And everything was fine and dandy when we had her. But then 3 years later, we had my son, Andrew. And after we had him, the bills began to pile up and life began to become so expensive. And so I wasn't making enough money from my IT management job. And so that's when I had decided to take the plunge and to start my own business and to see if I can make some extra money on the side to supplement my income and to keep my wife's dream a reality of her not having to go and get a job and be able to stay at home and take care of the kids.
Wow. What a background, Peter. But yeah. Why do you do what you do?
Yes. So why I do it is because so I now, have this business that helps out business owners with their websites. Honestly, it came out because I started my first website in 2010. It was actually after I got married. And I first wanted just to create a website with my wife's and I's wedding photos. And so I started to look into it and to see how to create a website. And I created it and I enjoyed it so much. And I began to, learn these skills about how to create websites. And then some people began to find out, some friends of mine began to find out that, hey, Peter's building websites. And so they began to reach out to me and say, hey, can you also help us with building a website? And I did. And that's why I began working with creating websites and being in the web space.
Wow. How has the journey been so far?
Yeah, the journey has been quite difficult, Patience, to be frank with you. So after in 2014, I started my very first business. And the very first business I created was actually not in the web space, but in creating like digital products. So I'm big on like time management and productivity, and I really enjoy that area or that realm. So I created these digital products, to try to sell them online. And then I was waking up every day, at 4 a.m. in the morning, just trying to build my website, build this new business, and hopefully trying to sell, some digital, teachings online. This is 2014, 2015. Online. And I was hoping just to make like, $3,000 per month or $4,000 per month extra on the side just to cover the bills and have some extra to save. And, after I launched my website and after I worked on it for 6 months, I was hoping to make the $3,000. But you know what, Patience? I only made $17. Okay. It was a huge failure, an absolute flop. Couldn't find out why nobody was buying my products, and why I couldn't get people to my website. So I decided to hire a coach, and he came in and he took a look at my website, and I paid him money for this. And he says, "Oh, the problem is that, you're selling very low cost products, for $10, for $20. So it's not very much believable that you're an expert. What you need to do is to become a coach and go very high end. So instead of charging these small amounts, I want you to charge $10,000 for your program."
Wow.
So I said, wow, yeah, this is a great idea. If I could just get one client for $10,000, that would be amazing. So I went and I worked another 6 months and I changed my business and I invested and paid more money to join programs that teach me how to sell coaching programs to high-end clients. And guess what? After 6 months of doing this, I sold $0 worth of my coaching program. So another big failure. My two first business ventures were complete failures, complete flops. And in the meantime, as I was doing this, I had one of my friends who owned a marketing agency, and he had so much business and so many clients that he was, using or advertising for. And he knew that I was good with websites. So he said, "Hey, Peter, can you do white labeling for my business where, you act as if you are a part of my agency and you build websites and you are a part of my team, but I don't pay you a salary. I'll just pay you a flat fee for every website that you build." And I said, "Sure, no problem." And this is how I started the website business after my first two businesses were complete failures.
Wow. What did your wife say when you really went on your two business and they didn't make it?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. My wife, her name is Tina. She is incredibly supportive, very loving wife, so nice. She encouraged me. She told me not to give up. She told me that she believes in me. She knows that I will make it. And with the help of God, everything will be fine. So she encouraged me, and it was her love and support that truly helped me to continue to go through that very rough year that I experienced.
Wow. Oh. That's good. It's always nice to have a support.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
Yeah, I think honestly for me, I define success as doing what God has called you to do, So I'm a person of Christian faith. And so I believe that God has a destiny for everybody. He has a calling for everybody. So if you are doing what you sense is your calling in life, you're meant to do, then I think that is successful, and that is success. And for everybody, it's different. For some person, it might be doing a business. Another person, it might be a doctor. Another person, it might be, farming, whatever it is. But I think that is success, was when you're doing what you're called to do. I think that's when you will be the most fulfilled. And that's what I think is success in my eyes.
Thank you. Tell my audience about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
The day that everything went right for me?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think the day that everything went right for me is when my friend, the marketing and agency owner, who has that business, called me up, because honestly, after two failures in a row, I would just wanted to give up. I felt like I was never going to make it. I'm destined for failure. I couldn't crack the code on how to be a successful entrepreneur. And how am I going to provide for my family? As a man, I felt this very deep urge to want to, to provide for my family and to give them what they need. And so after the two failures, it was bad. But then that call came through and my friend wanted to meet with me in person. And I remember he called me into his office in a big conference room, and I sat across from him on the table, and he pitched me, for him to come. And he said, Peter, come, I want you to be a part of the team, and I want to contract you out and do these websites for me and help me out with my marketing agency. I just have too many clients. And that was the time when I felt like, the light just shone from above, I was like, wow, God, thank you so much that truly, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and things began to turn around very quickly. And I was able to make money from him, and he gave me a steady stream of income. And until now, so this is almost 8 or 9 years later, he's still my client and he still gives me business regular.
Wow, what a story. Thank you.
Yeah.
When designing a landing page, what are the key elements we should really look for?
Yes, absolutely. Great question, Patience. And, when designing a landing page, so think of it at the very top, the most important element is the hero element. This is at the very top. So it's very important for your website to pass the 3-second test. The 3-second test is a well-known test that is known as hey, if anybody comes to your website, they must be able to know what your website is about within 3 seconds. And if they don't, then they will leave your website and go away and probably never come back. And unfortunately, many websites don't pass the 3-second test because they try to complicate things, or they're very much into their own head and they just come up with something fancy and, whatever it is. And they really don't think about what it's like for somebody who's never heard of their business before to come to their website and to learn about what it is that they have to offer. So I think the most important thing is to very clearly in the header area of your website or of the landing page is to communicate. If it's a homepage, communicate clearly what it is that you do, what it is that you offer in just very simple terms. If it's a landing page, then definitely talk about what it is that you're offering and the benefit, and just keep it simple. And honestly, try to interview or to talk to your potential clients and get them on the phone or get them on Skype or any kind of other meeting, Zoom, just to be able to get their feedback. Because so many times we have blind spots when it comes to web design, when it comes to our own business, because we think, oh, this is so clear, this is so easy. But when you actually speak to somebody and you ask them to give you feedback on your landing page or homepage, you will be sometimes very shocked and surprised, and not always in a good way, about their feedback about your landing page or homepage. So always, I would say, if you do those 2 things, that will help you out greatly.
And when should we do these 3 things? In the beginning of the year, 6 months, 2 months? When shall we do this?
Yes, before any launch. So let's say, for example, you're gearing to launch a new website or you're doing a brand new website design, then definitely start doing it, a few months before your launch. And always be willing to test it out. Don't just launch it and think, oh, this is great, everything's fine. Always go to your ideal audience, your ideal customer, and ask them, hey, can you take a look at this for me? If they're already one of your customers, go reach out to one of your customers and tell them, hey, can you please, reach out and check out this new page that I created? Can you give me your honest feedback? You've been a great customer of mine and I really value your feedback. And if you don't have customers, then the next best thing I would recommend that you do is for you to create meta ads. So meta ads are the ads that you will create on either Facebook and Instagram. And you can just for, just a few, pounds or dollars a day or euro, whatever currency you're spending, very, very small amounts, you can run advertising to this page. And very quickly, based on what the people do to the page, do they stay on the page? Do they go away? Do they leave? Do they click on more things? This will give you a great test in the real world to find out whether you are successful with this page and its intended goals or not.
If you could rerun the first year of your business, what would you definitely not do?
Oh, great question, Patience. So for me, the first one that was a failure, the first 2 businesses that I started that were failures, I think the first one is really my motivation was not good. My motivation was just to make money, just so I can cover the bills. I never thought about, hey, what is my destiny? What is my calling? What do I enjoy in life? what am I supposed to be doing with my life? And it wasn't aligned. And so because I wasn't aligned, I would say that was the reason why those two business failures happened. So I would say the very first thing to do is really make sure that whatever project you're working on, whatever business you're doing, that is aligned with your calling, with your destiny, with what you feel you enjoy. Because a lot of times your destiny and your calling will be tied to what you enjoy. You have those desires in your heart for a reason. You like helping people. Maybe you need to have something that has to do with help. So I would say that is the first thing that I would recommend that I would redo, in my first year with the failures. As for my first year with success, the first time I was successful after those two businesses, what I would do differently is definitely ask for more advice from people who are further down the road from me. The people who are more advanced, being more successful than me. I, encountered so many people like this. And instead of, just meeting them, I would definitely go and ask them just for some advice. It doesn't have to be for long conversations, or it doesn't even have to be over coffee or over dinner. Just, very casually when we're talking, when we're meeting, I would tell them about myself and maybe ask them more, just short, simple questions about what they would do if they were in my shoes. And I'm sure that I would have learned many shortcuts from them. And I think that's one of the things that I would definitely do differently.
So you are telling everyone to be open, but people are scared, Peter. If I'm open, everyone is going to know I'm now a failure. So how do we be comfortable with uncomfortable?
Amazing question, Patience. You're absolutely right that people don't want to be transparent maybe and say, like I'm failing or I'm making these mistakes. But something I have found, and so many people will attest to this, and this is actually scientific fact, that when you are honest with your mistakes, people feel closer to you and feel that you are more genuine than when you are portraying like you are a perfectionist and that everything is hunky-dory. So this is one of the wonderful secrets that, hey, you know what? If you can get over yourself, and if you can share about your failures, share about your mistakes, share about what you're stuck with, what is, the thing that you don't have an answer to with people, oh my gosh, this will build so many amazing relationships in your life. People will love that you're being so transparent with them. People will also feel like, oh, you know what? You just shared with me about a mistake that you made. I want now to share with you a mistake that I made. So they want to reciprocate. And I can tell you, after being a guest on multiple podcast shows and after talking with so many people, that most of the time most of my stories I share are stories about my mistakes, my failures. And because I share them, people feel so close to me and people feel that they can trust me. And people also feel like, hey, you know what? I want to do business with Peter because he's an honest guy and he's going to be upfront with me. And they really enjoy that. And I think that if people can also overcome their fears of, caring about what other people think about them, then they will be very successful in sharing about their mistakes and failures and wanting to get advice. And, one of the things that you mentioned was being open. I think being open is so critical to being successful in business.
Thank you. You mentioned about mentors. What is the most valuable thing your mentors has told you?
Yeah, the most valuable thing that my mentors has told me is, I have so many mentors and so many people. One of the mentors that I had in my life was John Maxwell. And I had, the famous author. He wrote, more than, 50 books, 100 books. He's very prolific, world, known expert on leadership. And I remember being in his group and he was mentoring a group of us. And I remember him sharing, just about humility. He says, never be afraid to be honest and humble. He says, if you will be honest and humble with the people in your business, then that will take you so far. And I honestly found that to be true. If I am honest with people and I don't try to sugarcoat or don't try to hide things, and if I'm honest with them, I found that it really does take you a long way, especially that sometimes you might need to confront somebody. And, whenever you need to confront somebody about something, then you will be uncomfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone. but it's okay. You have to get out of your comfort zone in order to take things to the next level. And if you're willing to do that, then I think you can be so successful, and you will find that also people will trust you, and they will enjoy your relationships, and they will also probably give you more business.
Thank you. What grounds you?
What grounds me? Yeah, that would be definitely my wife and my kids, They're always brutally honest with me, and they're always, like to joke with me and have fun. And they know me the best, because they live with me all the time. Mm-hmm. So I think my wife and my kids, they ground me so much. And I love having my family, and I love the role that they play in keeping me grounded.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
Yeah, as a business as a whole, I've learned so many lessons, but I would say the most critical things that I've learned is the wonderful ability to pivot. If in my first business, I wasn't willing to pivot from, selling my productivity and time management products at a low cost, if I wasn't willing to pivot and to go into my coaching business, which was also a failure, and if I wasn't willing to pivot from that and go into my website building business and my website business, I wouldn't have been able to be successful, and I would have given up way too early. There's that story about the person who goes and he buys a new land, hoping, thinking that hey, if he digs in his new land, he's going to find gold. This is a very famous story. Maybe you might have heard it.
Yes.
And the person keeps on, digging and digging. And then after that, he doesn't find the gold. And he thinks, I was hoping to find gold in this land, the little gold nuggets, but I found nothing. I'm going to sell it. And so he sells it, to the next person who buys it. And the next person digs exactly where the last person left off. And just after 3 more feet of digging, he hits gold. Then the first seller, who sold his land, now he's, kicking himself or kicking herself because she sold her land that had gold too early. And that's the power of stopping too soon, of not being able to pivot, of not giving up. So I think pivoting leads to perseverance. And I think that is so powerful when it comes to business.
Never give up. I think they call it 3 feet.
Yes, it is. That's correct. Yes, that's the one.
Don't give up at the 3 feet.
Yes, that's it.
How do you see AI shaping the future of WordPress websites?
Yes. So I know that you have a WordPress website, Patience, and I know that many of our listeners will have WordPress websites. And it's not just in the WordPress space, but also in other space. So maybe you have a website built on Wix or Shopify. Those are also going to be some popular platforms. AI is being incorporated in all of the platforms. And it's really a game changer because it can help out greatly with, when sometimes you're stuck for text and so you don't know exactly what to put in. So you can ask the AI and saying, hey, can you, please tell me what should I put on this homepage? But there's a problem is that the AI is at the moment, it's very generic. So sometimes what it gives you is just very general things. So when it gives you suggestions for what to put on your website, the suggestions aren't always very good, especially because AI is trained on the current websites. So on many current websites they're not, optimized, or they have a lot of problems with them. So therefore, the AI models are trained on websites that are not optimized, that are not the best. And so you get, only just medium or mediocre results. So really you need to also some help maybe from some experts to help you and to give you some guidance in this area. But the AI tools, they are getting better, and they are currently training them on better models and better websites, So the hope in the future is that it will even alleviate business owners of many of the mundane tasks that they might have to do themselves.
Are there any tools or plugs you can recommend?
Yes, absolutely. For general AI, there's one tool that I really enjoy using so much. It's called Cider.ai. And if you will just put that in Google, Cider.ai, I think that's the website also. It's a Chrome extension. They have Safari extension also. They have extensions for all the web browsers. And basically, it's an AI tool that lives inside of your browser. So anywhere that you're going online, it goes with you. and you can, it's available. So it uses all the different AI models. So if you want to use ChatGPT, which is one of the different AIs that you could use, you can chat with ChatGPT. If you want to chat with a different kind of AI called Claude or Claude 2, this is also a very famous type of AI, you can do that as well. If you want to choose to chat with Bard, and that's Google's version of AI, you can do that all as well. So it's one tool that has all the different AIs. It follows you everywhere inside of your web browser, and you're able to ask it anything and have it give you any kind of email replies to your emails. It can basically, you can ask it anything. You can ask it to summarize a YouTube video so that you don't have to watch the entire video. It's just a wonderful tool that can overlay on your web experience and help you with whatever it is that you're doing. So I highly recommend, if you're starting with AI, start with this tool. It's a great tool.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it and how can we join you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for this question, Patience. So for me, I'm the owner of SwiftPress Support. So we offer, you know how website business owners or business owners in general, they don't necessarily have the know-how and they don't have the time to build their own website and care for it and use it to bring the maximum number of customers to their business. Well, that's how I help people. I help business owners and marketers, build their websites and to care for them and to use it in a way so that it can bring in the maximum amount of new customers to their business. And you can think of my business SwiftPress Support kind of like a house. So if you own a home or if you own an apartment, sometimes you have a bathroom, and in your bathroom, unfortunately, your bathroom gets clogged up. So what do? You call the plumber, right? So sometimes the same thing happens with your website. Something breaks and you need somebody to fix it. So we can be like the plumbers for your website business, where we can fix whatever is wrong with your website. And sometimes also when you have an apartment or you have a house, you want to do a little bit of remodeling. Maybe you want to remodel your kitchen. So you want a new design in your kitchen. So that's also one thing that we do for our website owners, is that we give them a remodel and we create a new design, something fresh, something new, and something that also makes them look professional. Because a lot of times when business owners create their own web designs, it's not very professional, but we have a whole team of professionals that do create just amazing website designs. And then also sometimes, when you have a home, sometimes maybe you want to sell some things in your home. Maybe you have an old couch. Maybe you have some things in your garage that you want to sell. And so when you do that, you want to put signs in the streets. Hey, I'm having a sale in my house. Come, come to my garage sale, or come to whatever kind of sale you want to do. And in the same way, we also, whenever you are selling something online, we help for, business owners to put up advertising and to tell other people and to do marketing for them, to tell them, hey, this is what this website is about, and this is our offers, and this is what we are selling. So in those ways, this is more about my business and how we help busy business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers as well.
And how can we find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to my website. It's SwiftPressSupport.com. You can go there, learn more about my website. Also, feel free to take a look at the link in the navigation called Freebies. And these are all free services that we offer at absolutely no charge, like speeding up your website or creating a free article for you, or helping you in other ways with your website. We have 6 different services that we offer at the moment for free. And even after we offer them, there's no pitching. We don't pitch anything to you or try to sell you on anything after we help you with your website. So you can go and check out those free services if you're interested.
Thank you. There will be more from Peter in a moment. If you are encouraged by Peter's journey, please go to my website at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Are you excited about getting your message out to the world through awesome podcast interviews? If you are an author, business owner, or expert, you know how important it is to connect with a wider audience. Podcast interviews are a fantastic way to do just that. But to really shine, you need to be well prepared. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com/coaching and let's chat on Zoom. That's onlinesuccessjourney.com/coaching. Now, Peter, I would love for you to share more with my audience.
Sure.
Thank you. Do you watch movies or read books?
Movies or books? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to say books, and that's definitely what I go for. I only go to the movies now when my wife asks me. She's like, hey, come on, we haven't been to the movies. Take me to the movies. So I like books more because of the knowledge that it can give you.
Tell us, what is your favorite book that has some relevance to being an entrepreneur?
Yes, my favorite book that has some relevance to being an entrepreneur is Thinking Fast and Slow. So this is a wonderful book. I think it should be required reading for every business owner and also even every person in school. So it's a fantastic book telling you about how the brain works and how you have two systems in your brain, system 1, system 2, and how each one works. And really this once you learn this, it's critical information to learn in business because it teaches you how to communicate to others. So I would say that book, Thinking Fast and Slow, is at the top of my list.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
Yeah, that's a good one. If I had my last $100, I would try to see if I can get a ticket somewhere to some kind of like a business conference, where I can go and build relationships with people. Because if you build relationships with people, that will be, really the cornerstone of your business. Because without people, you have no business, because that's even who will be buying from you. So I would say definitely some kind of relationship building.
If you had a little note in your pocket, what would that be?
A note in my pocket would always to say, always look up.
What is your next chapter?
Oh, wow. My next chapter is to continue to expand my business. I'm very excited about my business. I love my business. I love my customers. I love to help them, to bless them, to serve them. So I'm always looking for more people that I can serve and to be a blessing to. And that is just the next chapter, to continue to offer my services and to see how I can help others.
Do you feel like you succeeded or like you're only on the way?
I feel like I have succeeded, but for me, success is not the destination. It's a journey. So, for me, it's like, when you're running a race, patience, and then you cross that finish line. And so you feel like, oh, I have arrived. I finished the race. For me, I feel like every time that you cross the finish line, there's a new finish line that is created for you. And at least that's what I do. I always have a new finish line. After I finish one, I go to the next one. And there's always new finish lines. So that way, success is always not just a destination or a finish line that you cross over. No, it's something that you continue running your race.
Will you ever stop?
For me, I love it so much. I don't even see myself retiring. I'm not even planning on retiring. Sure, God has blessed me financially and I have plenty, and I love to share it with others as well and to help out with giving to charities and things like that. But for me, I don't see the point of retirement. I don't see the point of stopping. I enjoy it so much and I'm doing my calling and I'm doing my destiny. Why would I ever want to stop? If I do, I feel like it would make me very unhappy. So my plan is to keep on doing it all the way until until my last day.
Wow. As we come to the end of our interview together, what additional wisdom would you like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, additional wisdom to share with the listeners is, and these are just things that come to my mind. And I think the most important thing is to say, hey, you know what? Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on searching for your destiny, your calling. What are you supposed to do in life? Maybe you're not doing it right now. Maybe you're in a business that you started. It might be successful, it might not be, but really I want to ask you to just look inside and to look introspectively. Are you doing what you've been called to do? Are you fulfilling your destiny? And if the answer is yes, then great, keep on doing it, expand, take your business to the next level. But if not, then maybe it's a time to pivot. Maybe it's a time to do what you were called to do, because you only have one chance in life and you only have one life to live. And so you might as well live it in a way where you are fulfilling your destiny, fulfilling your calling, and doing what you were meant to do while you were here on this earth.
Thank you. Remind us how we can connect with you.
Yes, absolutely. The best way to connect with me is going to be through my website on SwiftPressSupport.com. So go on there. Feel free to message me if you want. You can use the contact form. I am on social media, but I don't usually use it very much, and my team actually manages it. But if you would like to get in touch with me, you can do so using the contact form on my website, and that's the best way to reach me.
Peter, it's been great to have you here to share your online success journey with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Patience. You are a delightful interviewer. You asked amazing questions. I felt just like I was a part of your family being here online. So I thank you for being so warm and so kind and hosting me today.
Thank you so much for coming. Remember, success is a journey. Don't wait. Let's start the journey. Patience and Peter.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest and want you to know that there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast and are only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps us each chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on the favorite platform you have to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at Apple Podcasts and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share the journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out our coaching sessions on how to set goals and double your productivity while you're at the website. Working with Patience is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.